Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SDHSAA Esports State Finals Tournament. I'm your host, LaFever, joined by the one and only Skeptor, and we are going to be watching some League of Legends here shortly. Ain't that right, Skep?
Yes, indeed. We were dealing with some technical difficulties. The game froze up in the first matchup there of our second game of round number one, but hopefully we have done everything in our power to avoid that from taking place again. T Area High School did find the game one victory over the hometown squad of Aberdeen Central High. So, things to think about, right? Aberdeen now kind of on that back foot, kind of back against the wall. If you drop this next game, your tournament is coming to an early close. So for T Area High School, try to repeat what you just put down in that first game of this set. Overall, though, I'm sure Aberdeen having a good supporting staff behind them and going to try to battle back and bring this series back to a game three. We'll have to see, though, Fever.
For sure. We will have to wait and see. And just reminders for those League of Legends enthusiasts in chat. T Area was rocking out on the Urgot, Echo, Mel, Ash, and Morgana. So we are going to maybe be seeing some bans targeted towards them. We're going to have to wait and see, though, because bans do play a big role in the game number two, more so game one, if I'm going to be real. It's just based off of, what more things are comfortable with and how well you know the players and know the enemy team. But, we're going to be able to see what the future holds here as we get into game number dose. What a past 40 minutes it's been.
Yeah,
man.
it
doesn't. It feels like a dream. It feels like I'm waking up.
We're sorry for the delays. I mean, we were checking out all the options as to what could have caused that freeze up. We ran through updating the client, ran through updating system things. So we did everything in our power to avoid that from taking place again, folks. We appreciate your guys' patience and working through it. Sometimes with these first streams and getting things going for the first time, right, in a new scenario, things can be a little bit tricky, right? That's just the name of the game. You're dealing with electronics and technology, and sometimes it's not always cooperative.
It likes to fight you sometimes, but I'm liking these bands that I'm seeing right here. We're seeing a lot of similar ones. Seraphine and Caitlyn, Viego, and Gwen were all picks from last time. Poppy was also on there. I don't know if Gnosis was there. Heimerdinger
was banned. Gwen was banned. Viego was banned. Seraphine was banned. Caitlyn and Poppy was also banned. So Caitlyn, the only ban that is new, I think, in this category. Heimerdinger locked in, Gnar locked in for the side of T Area.
Interesting.
Diana taken into the jungle spot. Jarvan locked in. Silas coming back out again for the mid lane on the opposing side. We could have a mirror matchup, or the same matchup as we witnessed in the first round of the Silas and the Mel. Mel's still on that table.
We'll see if we get those bans on the Mel. Or no, we can't ban Mel. No, hang on. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They could have in pro draft, like if they didn't first rotation the Mel, but since they didn't ban it in that first three, they just opt to go for it again.
Which, if it doesn't work, I mean, if you don't get banned, like, why not? Graves does get banned though, which is unfortunate for you there, Skep.
Those are like my top two champs right there. Lee Sin and Graves. Those are two of my best aggressive junglers. And then 4 junglers rounding out the bans here. So that means Diana and Jarvan weren't taken until later in the second half of the draft is what that tells me. Everybody just picks in order. This does not mean that this is how the drafting phase went on the pro draft, right? Seeing the jungler bans at the end means that both teams held their jungle pick until way later in the draft and towards the end of that. Otherwise, because junglers have already locked in on what we are witnessing right here, right now on the champion select. So, and then it's same exact bot lanes coming through, right? It was the Ashe and the Morgana again taking on the Jhin and the Maokai. So same bottom halves of the map, right? Mid lane the same, bot lane's the exact same. So, I mean, for my money's worth, I would have guessed that we had a pretty close game one if you're willing to kind of handshake and go back down that same road, even though you just were defeated by this team. You just gave them a lot of their same comfortable picks that they just had success with in game number one. So, I mean, my guess is that it was a closer game.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the run back here. T Area going to be on the right red side, and
Yep.
Aberdeen is going to be on the blue left
So
side for the folks at home.
the other thing about that is both teams that dropped that game one started on blue side, and the team that loses usually in a best of three has the option to pick what side they want to go to. And now both teams have opted for swapping over to the blue side after dropping game number one. So kind of an interesting point, you know,
Yeah.
thinking switching up the side might help you out a little bit more, assist you a little bit more. The beauty of
as
red
the
side, go for it.
I was just gonna say, as the League of Legends, tournament goer, how do you favor which side?
Well, I mean, the different sides have their different benefits. Blue side, you
Right.
get first pick. So technically, if there's a pick that is very contested between both teams, you guys have the first opportunity to pick a champion. And I mean, if it's
Sure.
like, you know, Mel's the best champion in the game right now, then technically
Pick Mel.
blue side, yeah, if you don't ban it, then blue side has the advantage. The positives of red side though being that you kind of have the last pick of the draft. So if you have a very good mid laner or a very good top laner who wants to get a counter pick, get to see what the entire roster looks like and know the
Sure.
matchups, and you're like just a beast, you can play anything, then red side could be very beneficial because then you can give your best player a very favorable matchup and a very like counter pick scenario. Like because
Interesting. Yeah.
some matchups in League of Legends, like just like your Smash fighting games, are kind of unplayable, right?
Fair.
Same thing for League of Legends. There's specific champions that if you pick this guy into this person, it's like, dude, I'm going to need jungler up here like 3 times within the first 10 minutes because this guy is just going to put a beating on me and there's nothing I can do. So, like, it's half of the battle of League and the beauty of League is there's 2 games involved in the game. The pick,
Yeah.
ban, and the drafting phase is its own game entirely. There's a reason
Entirely.
that at the pro level and at the highest levels, the coaching staff and those people responsible for that focus entirely on the draft because it's like it's its own mental warfare and battle between the other team. We won't see it as crucial down here at the high school level, but the point still stands, and those kind of advantages can still be gained as early as the drafting phase for both of these teams.
Right, and especially since we are seeing such comfort picks already, it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out because, again, we're assuming it was close.
I'd say it was, right? Because like
Yeah.
you just have to be psycho to go back down the road that you just went down after
Right?
suffering a defeat, right? To draft over half of the same exact team that you just had in the game prior. Or the other point to that is like you feel very comfortable with what you guys had in the game before, and you feel like this is the winning recipe. You might have just had a few hiccups in the first
Right.
game, but you're trying to rectify those mistakes and make it right coming into game number 2.
But we are seeing some changes like the Heimerdinger and Gnar. So time will tell.
Heimerdinger is like he's interesting for the top lane pick because like he
Yeah, I've
can
never
support
seen him in
himself
top.
well. Yeah, he's usually mid lane. I mean, you can pick him top lane. Nar's a pretty good pick into the Heimerdinger because you have a ranged form and you also have a melee form when you get to max
Oh, sure.
rage and you transform
Okay.
into Mega Gnar. So like ranged form Gnar can keep his distance, can kind of chip away at Heimerdinger's turrets without being in too much of harm's way. Whereas Mega Gnar can also, he grows in size, HP, and damage, and can really mess up Heimerdinger in the big form as well. So like both options kind of favorable. Silas jumping in with the abscond and abduct here
Ooh.
onto the Mel, getting some good
Already off
damage
the great
on
start.
top. Gnar showing up though, forces the flash out of Mel. So not too shabby of a start here from Silas, getting his counterpart's flash burned in the mid lane.
I mean, we did our job, right? We were looking for either a pick, but that's like, in a perfect world, or we just wanted to burn a util, and we got exactly what we wanted. So
Yep.
great stuff from them. Morgana seeming to be already a little bit scared of this Maokai here.
You can't let the tree get up too close on top of you like that. He's going to do lots of damage. Diana, however, in the enemy side jungle, this is quite greedy from Jax. I'm not too much of a fan of this play at all. You're
There's
by
that
yourself. You're in the enemy jungle. You already burned flash. You're dead to rights. I mean, this guy's
Right.
dead. 100,000%. One
might
more
take a
E's going to
little
come
bit, but-
through from the Silas. And that's a dead Diana. First blood over to the Silas. Not really sure what Jax was doing there, but a donation handed over to the side of Aberdeen Central, and I mean, they're going to take it. Very good
Insane.
plays from Silas.
We're already seeing a good call out here from Aberdeen.
Yeah, Jax actually just lost his mind on that play. I really don't know what that was at all. No support from your bot lane or your mid laner, and you're invading the enemy jungle. Very questionable play, but we'll see how this one transpires. Puts himself on the back foot early now in the jungle.
Maybe he was running off the high of game number 1, but only time will tell as we are seeing, pretty standard minion control here in bot lane. Mel looking to be a little bit offensive.
So Mel has that ranged advantage. Silas is a melee champion, right? So a little bit harder in the early on stages of the laning phase. Mel going to be able to poke him away a little bit more, but they know Mel has no flash. Abscond and abduct onto the Mel. The EQ flag and drag from the Jarvan. Flash final blow delivered. 2-0 start for Aberdeen, and they are making it count early on in this game number 2, Fever.
I mean, just like you said, they knew they had the info gap in the movement gap of, oh, wait, he doesn't have flash. So we could just go in there with our Jarvan and just absolutely demolish him. Very great stuff. I like the use of being able to work on getting that flash very early and then capitalizing off of it a little bit later. That's what we like to
punishment. See. Super well played from Aberdeen. Two question mark plays to really open up the game from T side. And it's like, I mean, immediately punishment, right? So that's exactly what you want to see if you are cheering on this Aberdeen squad, finding those small advantages and then taking full advantage of said situation. So nicely played from the Silas so far. Goes back to base early, picks up an amplifying tome and some boots for himself. Jarvan and Silas are kind of like a Bash Brothers combo. Both of those champions have that gap closing ability, and if they get on top of you, they're quite sticky and they're kind of hard to get off of you, right? They have a lot of movement abilities to kind of keep themselves in that picture, and I mean, both that bruiser style champion,
right?
HP and lots of damage.
And I feel like Mel's a little bit more on the squishier side. Correct me if I'm wrong, Skep. So it's going to be a little bit hard for her to be in mid lane alone.
Trade him with the Jarvan. Diana has the red buff advantage. Heimerdinger showing up. Nade not going to land. Jarvan looking for more, though. Biting off more than he can chew. No flash on this J4. Trying to get out. Flashing in is the Gnar. Will find one before going down. Silas going to pick that one back up. 3-1 now in the kill feed. Both teams getting a little spicy in the topside river.
I don't know how worth that Gnar was going in there and trying to get him.
It was good to kill the Jarvan, but you flashed in for it, and now the Silas is at a 2-0 startup with 1 assist. And Silas is a champion, kind of like the Fizz that we saw in game 1. Those melee-style mid laners, if they get going, right, they are snowball machines. Silas can take over the game if played properly. So my eyes are going to be peeled on the Chainbreaker. Silas is one of the coolest champs in the game.
No, 100%. I really like his design.
I love Silas. He's so sick. One of my all-time faves. I'm going to say that about a lot of champions, so please don't hate on me too much. It's what happens when you play the game for a super long time.
Right.
Gnar taking a couple turret shots.
Crazy. Back up, little bro.
You don't have that much HP. A little early in the game to be tanking tower. Maybe if you had the Mega Form, right, you get that bonus HP. You can see Mel just clearing the waves in the mid lane. Very good wave clear on this champion. When Gnar's bar turns red right there like this, he's about to transform into Mega. So something to keep in mind. Managing the Gnar bar comes crucial towards later half of the game. Abscond and abduct onto the Mel. I mean, you can see the damage that the Silas is already outputting. Gets chipped up quite low from the Mel as well.
Okay, trying to find something here. I've never heard the term on Narbar, but I'm going to say I'm kind of in love with it.
Yep. That's
very good.
The classic professional caster talk about it. Jarvan, flag and drag onto the Diana. Okay. Not a lot of mana on the Heimerdinger up here towards top side.
We're going to have to recall.
Right now, Jarvan and Silas should be winning out this 2-on-2 over the Mel and the Diana. Both of those champions having the advantage on the side of Aberdeen.
This Drake is going to be super crucial here as it's the first big objective that we are going to be contesting over. and who's ever going to get this Drake could be seeing quite a nice advantage here. We're going to have to wait and see how it plays out because we're not getting a whole lot of help from either side of getting it taken
Jarvan
care of. But we
should be
do
good
get
to do
rooted.
it. Barrier popped for the Jhin. Ashe firing away. Diana's towards top half of the map. Mel has recalled, so it should be a free dragon going over to the side of Aberdeen. As long as Jarvan lands this smite in a timely fashion, there it goes.
There we go.
Ocean Dragon. So what Ocean Dragon does is it regenerates 2.5% of your missing HP / mana every like 5 or so-ish seconds out of combat. So good resource to kind of help you sustain in the laning phase. Flash away from the Maokai. Lots of pressure coming in from the T bot lane.
Right, dude, this Ashe is very prominent and dominant just because Maokai can't really do anything just because he's so melee heavy. And I'm not entirely sure on Jhin, but it's looking like we're having a hard time contesting it here, especially with this Morgana being able to get a sneaky root in, and just we can really capitalize off of that.
Maokai's position a little far back. He should be positioning a little bit more forward to kind of apply pressure, right? You don't necessarily have to be going in, but just the fact of being standing closer,
right,
you are way more threatening than just standing behind your AD carry. It limits the abilities of what your AD carry can do. EQ into a 1v2 from the Jarvan. Ooh. Questionable decision, forced to flash out.
Yeah.
Sylas teleporting into the action now. Diana taking a lot of damage. Mel will find one back with the ultimate. Gnar into the mix now. Will ult Sylas into the wall, stunning him up. And this is a tough scene. And again, a questionable decision going in for that Jarvan. No team close by. EQing into a 1v2. And I mean, immediately handing himself a death, right? Like,
that was a
timing. It was a questionable decision.
That's a big blunder there.
Yeah, blunder as well. That's a good one. Because it's like, it's one thing if Sylas was teleporting in and that's when we EQ. Sylas reacted in a panic to the Jarvan going in, just getting a little bit over antsy. And he's right back to the seat of the crime, trying to find the Gnar. We'll take care of him. Mel now on the run. Sylas pulling back up as well. Blue side not done with this one. Ooh, Abscond Abduct doesn't land. The flag and drag will also miss. Mel should skate out of this one. But it is the side of Aberdeen to get one back onto the Gnar.
Right, we are seeing Diana try to maybe come up here and back up Mel. No, we're just going to see a nice... Yeah, I cannot believe we just... Maybe we had a very... I don't care, because maybe we're still top-heavy... Yeah.
Sylas probably said, I have teleport, I can help you, and Jarvan took that as, I'm going in right now, whereas it should have been, teleport is being channeled to the objective, Jarvan is waiting for his teammate to be closer by, just way too mistimed on that point of engage there. Now Sylas could be in trouble here. Diana on the top side bush, Sylas jumping into the action here.
We're caught
trading onto Mel.
That positioning is
okay.
going to get
Jarvan
caught out.
showing up.
Woo,
wait, Mel's taking tower. What is that?
Woo! Big overextension there. Woo.
Jarvan Cataclysm onto the Diana, and that is another blunder. We're just going to go ahead and rip it. Big time blunder. Mel walking under tower and just tanking turret shots and like giving her life over for nothing. Like I'm confused.
Same. We keep on overextending so much to the point that we're just kind of getting blinded by rage.
I mean, they are giving Aberdeen exactly what they want and need to make this into a 3-game series right now. T with some, I don't even know if I could say uncharacteristical mistakes because we didn't see a lot in that first game, right? We barely saw any of the gameplay. So I don't know if this is what they were doing in the first game as well. But so far, I mean, they are giving Aberdeen exactly what they need to punch this thing into a 3rd and final game of this series. Jarvan showing up towards top side. EQ onto the Gnar, forces the flash out. Ooh, nice Morgana route onto the Jhin, very low HP. This is a dead man walking. Ashe Enchanted Crystal Arrow will land true. The Morgana ignite to find the final tick. Why'd Gnar stay around? Flashed out.
Where is he? Run, brother, you're in a 2v1.
Ulted Jarvan into the wall. Jarvan will find that elim before going down. Diana showing up late to the party, forcing the Heimerdinger to flash away from harm's way. And now a slight gold advantage in favor of the blue side. But man, oh man, back and forth, nonstop action being delivered here in game number 2.
I actually think the gold is in T's favor. 19 to 16? Or 17? Yeah. T has more. How? A CS? Oh, CS. Understood.
Creep score.
It does get you.
CS, creep score, and then CC, crowd control. Your like hard stun effects, your roots, all those good little goodies.
For sure.
So right now, the biggest point of advantage I'd have to say would be the bot lane from the side of T. The Morgana Ashe combo has been doing wonders. Gnar chipping away at the Heimerdinger here in the top side. Nade not going to land.
Nice root on that Maokai.
And Morgana's been money with the binds.
You can't really do anything about it either just because we have such bad movement.
Oh, Gnar jumping in on the Mega, immediately trouncing the Heimerdinger. Too much damage to handle. Jarvan looking for the EQ. Back into the action here. Sylas showing up. Cataclysm onto both. Diana ultimate buys some time, but Sylas takes that ultimate back for himself. Morgana root onto the Jarvan. He is gonna die, surely. Finds a double kill before going down.
Nasty. Okay, Gnar, try to back up right now.
He's good. He took care of the Heimerdinger. No teleport back to lane either. And bot lane, I mean, just gave the kudos to the side of T Area's bot lane. They show up to that fight first, and they're the main reason that Jarvan ended up going down.
Right.
5, 4, and 4 for the J4. Sylas at 5, 1, and 3. So power points heavily in the mid and jungle position. This Heimerdinger with almost no CS at all in the top lane. That is not something you want to see, especially on a champ like Heimerdinger. He's not going to provide much for the team in terms of like usefulness. Like I hate, for lack of a better word, but he's not a tank. Yep. So he's not going to be able to frontline for your team. He's normally a damage-based mage, and being this far behind on said champion does not bode well for what this Heimerdinger is going to be able to provide for the side of Aberdeen Central.
You could try to play it safe and maybe...
That's what he's been doing, though, and it's not panning out.
Yeah, and you can't play aggressive because he's so far behind. Interesting.
Yep. So, yeah, kind of cooked. If
you will. I think the dish has been burnt, yeah.
Yep. That one is an NT. That tower's already gone, too, in the top side as well. So, Gnar has been running it up there. I mean, up 30-something CS, right, or 70-something CS right about now. Grub's being taken by the side of Aberdeen. Okay. First ones went over to the side of T area. Diana's trying to contest. Gnar showing up. Morgana showing up. Ashe showing up. This is going to get ugly for the side of Aberdeen. Root onto the Gnar. Lots of damage onto Maokai. He goes down. Jarvan forced to flash out. Diana ultimate does not connect. Heimerdinger trying to show up and help him out. Not going to provide much. Enchanted Crystal Arrow will land true onto the Jarvan. Double kill for the Gnar. And Heimerdinger's got to get out of here, man.
He just has to go back to tower, or else
you got to leave. You got to leave. You're not doing anything here. Sylas teleporting up towards top lane now. Why? They're trying to contest this. They're trying to fight. Grenade will land, stunning up the Gnar for now. Bind onto the Heimerdinger. Sylas looking for more. Void Grub's grabbed. Gnar gonna find that one on the brink of no HP. What are you doing, Aberdeen? Looking to turn this fight around. It was already a lost fight. You got to be able to cut your losses. Heimerdinger sticking around. Morgana now on the pursuit.
We're gonna be able to rip him.
Maokai showing up, looking to help him out. Diana not going to be able to get to him before he gets under that tower. Grenade lands onto Morgana. I mean, this is a mess right now. Aberdeen had such a good lead, and now it's kind of flip-flop. T is back in the advantage state. EQ in for the Jarvan. And Aberdeen,
dare I say we threw it away?
We definitely did. We kind of we're losing sight of when we have advantages and where our strong points are. We keep getting stuck in these scenarios. Yeah, we flashed the bind. A little bit worried.
Okay, sure. And we were not keeping track of the entire time that all of that chaos has been going on. Mel's just been dominating bot lane. We're seeing her get her first tower. Sylas going to try to stop it, but I think it's too little too late.
That tower is very low HP. One more auto should do it. Minions will end up taking it. And the thing is it's like Aberdeen have continued to opt into these fights where they are at a man or numbers disadvantage, which really does not favor them, and it's the reason that this game has come back to being dead even. And Mel just pops that Silas like nothing. And I mean, at this point, if you're Aberdeen, you were handed the keys to the city, you were given the opportunities, and it's kind of been tarnished. So we'll have to see if they can battle their way back into this one now. Jarvan starting to fight with the Gnar, but this Gnar is a very strong lad. Cataclysm comes through. Gnar about to go into full rage. Will stun up the Jarvan. He's a dead man walking. Thrown back into the wall. Stunned up. Gonzo. Heimerdinger not going to be able to support him. And again,
we're trying to steal Herald. He's not going to be able to do anything.
No, not at all. Aberdeen losing sight of the true objective. Jarvan continuing to take these very questionable fights. I mean, fighting by yourself into multiple other characters, throwing your life away, essentially. Right. And another objective going over the way of T-Area now. They're up 6K gold, Fever. Like, yeah, everything that was had by Aberdeen is now gonzo. Diana.
I think one of the things that we saw is that we tried. We were playing up so well. We were up so
Gnar
much.
Jumping over the wall. Hold on a second. Heimerdinger in trouble.
But
Gnar
we just keep overextending.
Gain some HP back. Heimerdinger walking forward. Flashes away. Boulder going to come back up. Minion Wave will protect the Heimerdinger for now. Should stay alive. Diana behind this tower trying to pressure. Nice abscond and abduct onto the Diana. The flash over the wall onto the Jhin, and they take care of him, no problem. Silas now in the middle of a 1 versus 4. Aberdeen continuing to take these man disadvantage fights, and it is costing you the game.
One of the things that we see Aberdeen keep doing time and time again is we were up so much in the beginning half and we just didn't know how to play it, so we just kept on overextending so much, and now the entire mid lane is gone, bot lane is gone, top lane, it's, guess what, also gone. Heimerdinger is having a hard time keeping up with anyone. Our entire bot lane is struggling.
I mean, there's holes in the bottom of the ship. No, the boat is sinking as it currently stands. First inhibitor tower will be taken. Jarvan finds the consolation prize of the Cloud Drake down towards the bot side. But overall, I mean, very well played from T-Area to battle their way back into this one after such a poor start to this game.
It's very commendable to see that they were able to get back after that beginning.
And the other hard part about this is J4 behind the Diana after what was one of the most abysmal starts to the game possible for the Diana. Should not be in this one by any means. Jarvan with some poor engagements has really shifted the likes of this game number 2. It's not over yet. Aberdeen have an opportunity to get back into this one, but they need to really start thinking about when and where they are picking to choose these fights. They continue to opt into odd man fighting situations where they don't have the manpower and they are frankly down on the firepower as well. It's like a two-way street. And I mean, it's been costing them, Fever.
Costing them hard, as we are clearly seeing that gold lead, the kill lead has swayed into T-Area's favor. The Yatakan is now on Summoner's Rift. We're going to be trying to find it. Yeah.
Gnar can go up and help the Diana. I mean, Heimerdinger has been under tower almost the entirety of these games. You know, not panning out to what you needed for this pick.
So much damage to that tower. It might as well be gone.
Gnar running into the bot lane. Questionable pathing. Diana showing up to help out. Ultimate onto 2 of them. Heimerdinger down to half HP. Gnar just going to chop this tree up like he's Paul Bunyan. Taking care of that. Silas with the TP into the back line. Going to miss the E, but will be able to take down Jax.
Gnar's going to be choosing to retreat out of here.
Silas coming down through the top side of River. Melt looking to engage. Gnar staying around. Man advantage still in favor here, but Aberdeen now flipping it with Jarvan showing up. Cataclysm onto the Gnar, who hops out of harm's way. Looking a little bit too deep now. Jarvan is alone. Nobody on your team is helping you out. Now it's a wild goose chase through the topside river. Will cone out to safety for now and should be okay. Unless he wants more.
Why go in?
Yeah, he's okay.
No!
He's okay. He's okay. His HP bar is getting a little bit tankier, right? So he was fighting like he was tankier earlier, and he had the HP and the stats to back it up. He just didn't quite have the items necessary at that given time. And I get it. You know, you're looking to make those big plays. You're looking to bring your team back into this one. It's just the main synergy points. T area has always been fighting together with numbers and strength, right? Aberdeen is making these individualistic plays kind of by themselves, and it's forcing their teammates to react. So the timings just aren't aligning for the blue side of the map. They got to be on the same page if they're going to bring this one back, Fever.
Unison is the name of the game that Aberdeen needs in order for the comeback here. We're going to see Jarvan and Heimerdinger rotating down the river here.
The other thing, too, is like when you fall behind in League, it is crucial that you are fighting as a team. You are weaker than the other team automatically when you're losing. They have better items than you. They are ahead on XP and HP, right? So you have to force odd man fighting scenarios. Heimerdinger is the weakest of your strength characters right now, and Jarvan's fighting by himself. Heimerdinger's not even helping him out. Like, these are not the fights that you should be taking. And they just continue to kind of make these blunders happen. Finally, bot lane showing up. Noah going to have to be forced to run his way out of here. Maokai can't quite get the route in time. Diana showing up to help out if they go too far forward. Aberdeen missed their window to make the play happen, and now it's another odd man situation. T area with the man advantage. Maokai goes down, and again, Fever, not knowing when and where to force these fights is going to be Aberdeen's downfall. T area making the right moves now, up 8,000 gold. And I mean, this Jarvan's game, I mean, it just flipped entirely on its head. Had all the keys, had the opportunities.
And he threw them in the dumpster.
And now we're at 5, 7, and 4, right? We have the most deaths on our team probably as the Jarvan. When we had the hot start, right? Like, it's just, these are very tough things to see for the hometown squad.
Okay.
Otacon picked up. Everybody getting that Guardian Angel now. So next time each one of these champions will falter and perish on the T side, it won't actually count as a death. They will just be teleported back to their base. So that's the big bonus from getting that Otacon in the top side. Silas looking to fight. He's by himself. He's sectioned off from his teammates, trying to get up, trying to help him out, but he's forced to run out before the engage. And again, Fever,
this is not okay.
I'm a broken record because I'm just saying the same exact thing. It's just communication, guys. If we're gonna fight, we say we're gonna fight, and we fight together. These one-on-one fight takings have ruined this game too for Aberdeen. Truly ruined it because they just can't win anymore. They actually cannot win anymore. Jarvan will steal a dragon, so we'll take that. That's nice. Diana should find him in this one-on-one now. He's not going to get out safely. But, I mean, the base is falling to shambles. There have been no towers taken from the side of Aberdeen, and this one is drastically starting to favor the side of the T area.
I mean, we were questioning how they were able to win out game number 1, but it's looking clear that a little bit of overextensions may have been the cause of it. Void Grub's coming in here trying to take out that inhibitor. Very nice.
Yeah, middle inhib goes down. Mel taking that top inhibitor turret. Baron Nashor now spawned in. This is usually the point of closing. T area sight set on the objective.
Because do they still have Otacon buff? They do, right?
Yeah, I mean, that lasts until they die.
Crazy.
Yeah, so you're automatically going to have that for quite some time. I'm almost positive that's the case. I don't think it's on a timer with that GA buff.
Crazy. Okay. Baron now getting thwarted by T area. Yeah.
Aberdeen's not even going to make it over here in time to see what's going on. Baron claimed.
They better get out.
I mean, they can fight him too. Silas is looking by himself again here. I mean, we're just not learning our lesson. So we'll learn the hard way. We'll learn the hard way by taking the loss because this is the only way that you actually learn. We're taking solo fights in a 1-on-5 right now for the Jarvan. Maokai showing up, but, like, you know what I mean? They're so far behind that by the time that their teammates are getting to them, they are already dead. And then we're just staggering, going in one at a time to the meat grinder, sacrificing our lives over to T Area High School. This one was close. I mean, dude, this was 10-10, right? And now it's 11-24. Yeah, remember that?
I do remember.
I was trying to say, man. I was trying to say. Like, I know they can't hear me. while they're playing the game. But, just something to go back and look at for sure here for the future for this Aberdeen squad. Got to be on the same page when you're looking for these fights. Otherwise, I mean, you're just kind of going to get clowned on. Game 2, not going their way. Shutdown found by the Heimerdinger, trying to find a last-second resort to this fight. Jin, curtain call, will shut down the Mel. Nicely played there. Nar on the run out of this one. But Nexus towers have been claimed.
Yeah. Like, they were able to thwart them away from the final push, but Nexus is still already pretty hurt.
Yep. I mean, and it seemed like they fought that fight together. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like we engaged at the same time, and we were able to find kills.
Wait,
but anyways, yeah, you know what I'm saying, brother.
Yeah.
Dude, like, they had such a good making of this Jarvan and Silas combo when fighting together, and that's where the strength was, right? That's where the only points of strength were on this squad. Bot lane, super ahead for the side of T-Area through the laning phase. Top lane, not even close in favor of the Gnar, right? So your only power points were the Jarvan and the Silas, and the second that those two stopped being on the same page and looking for those engagements together, that's kind of where this one went south.
Couldn't agree more, but it looks like we're going to be trying to close it out because this Jarvan's just trying to be the do-it-all man. But
I mean, he can do it. He just needs his squad with him, man. Yeah, you can be a hero if you're being a hero with your team. Right, true. But if we're trying to be Superman by ourselves, especially when behind in league, that's why I'm being so critical of these events. Right, if you're behind, it's way harder on your team to do things solo because they're just tankier, dude. They take more to actually bring them down. So we'll see. Big fight coming through here. Aberdeen trying to survive, but it's going to be too little too late. Cataclysm comes through for the Jarvan, but the rest of his mates have already hit the deck. It's going to be a clean ace coming through for the T-Area squad as they move to close out this series in a 2-0 fashion. Dominant victory coming through from T-Area as they close out this one.
Very nice job on the reversal from T-Area. Things were looking a little bit rough here in the beginning, but with a little bit of a team synergy and communication, T-Area was able to sweep Aberdeen off of their feet.
Yeah, really well played from the T-Area squad. Close one at the beginnings of this one, right? Lots of good back and forth. Good opportunity for Aberdeen very early on in the game. Didn't quite pan out to success. It was a very well-played mid-game decision-making for the side of T-Area as they bring that one back from the brink, right? So overall, well played from that squad. They moved 2-0. They advanced themselves into the next round. Tough outcome for the hometown squad of Aberdeen, but it is what it is. And, you can only try to learn from this one and try to have a better showing on your next go-around.
For sure. One of the my best things that I like to say a lot when I'm learning and just talking to myself is number one way to learn is just get your butt kicked over and over again, because it's that repetitiveness that will get you to start thinking, oh, wait, what am I doing wrong? So hopefully we will be able to take something from that. But, I mean, still made it to top 8, so that's pretty good. Aberdeen, not too shabby, just needs to work on that teamwork, but that's all good as we see T-Area moving into the next phase of bracket. But, ladies and gentlemen, we will be moving on after this break to the next parts of bracket as well. So don't go anywhere. Right after this break, we will be back with more League of Legends action.